Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys, and as you can see from the thumbnail and the title of this video guys, yes guys, I'm going to be predicting my 22-23 Premier League predictions guys. It's that time again guys. What a turnaround, what a summer it's been. Obviously the transfer window is still open as well, so obviously teams can still strengthen their teams as well. Obviously I have to go by putting teams in a place where I think they'll end up finishing come the end of the season. It all could change in a matter of a couple of weeks time, who comes in and who goes out. Looking forward to this season. Maybe asking me, Brett, when is your video coming out reacting to your 21-22 Premier League predictions? That will be going out on Friday night, so that will be already up on my channel. The reason behind I've only just put this video out the day the new season has started is because I took a long time off YouTube. I want to enjoy my summer as much as I could, and that's why that video has just gone up now, to be honest. But please bear with me guys with that one. But this will be obviously up and live midweek, just after match day 1. I apologise for that one, it's all on me. At the end of the day guys, let's get straight to today's video. I want you guys in the comment section below, who do you think is going to come top 4, who's going to get relegated, and who will be the first manager to get sacked. That will be all revealed in this video guys, and we're going from the relegation zone up to the top. Coming 20th, I think Fulham, because no disrespect to Marco Silva, he has been in the Premier League before, he has managed teams like Everton before. How did that happen? Obviously he got sacked. Obviously Marco Silva, good managers, is proven in the Premier League, but just unfortunately the reason why I put Fulham getting relegated is because we saw it last time. They were last in the Premier League, they came up, they got relegated. A team that's a waste of space, to be honest, and that's definitely going to go back to the Championship, unfortunately. I'm putting them 20th based on because I just think they don't have Premier League proven players. Obviously they have lost Carvalho to Liverpool as well, but they have also brought in players. They have strengthened their team. They have brought in Andreas Pereira from Manchester United. Obviously enjoy it over there, mate. And also they've brought in Paulinho as well from Sporting Lisbon. They have also brought in a couple of more players in as well. I think in total they've brought in 5 players this stage in the transfer window as well. Not too bad by them, unfortunately, but I just do think they'll fall short. Obviously Marco Silva is a great manager, Premier League proven, but I just don't think they've got enough Premier League proven players. They just don't have the experience there. Sorry Fulham fans, but you're going straight back down. Coming 19th, I've gone with Bournemouth. Bournemouth, obviously Scott Parker, he's a brilliant manager. You saw what he did last season in the Championship, brought the Bournemouth straight back up. Obviously it's good to see them back in the Premier League yet again. Obviously they are making more signings as well. As we're speaking right now, they are signing Neto from Barcelona. I think that's a good addition to their goalkeeping department as well. They do need another goalkeeper, in fact, as well. They do need someone with experience as well, and net as well. But Bournemouth, again, just another team that don't have Premier League proven players. I know they've got Dominic Solanke. Is he going to be a player that can really score 30 or more goals? I can't really see it happening. Difficult season for Bournemouth, I think, coming up ahead. Mainly everyone's putting these two down, and just unfortunately they just don't have it in them. They have brought in some good signings, and in total right now they've only brought in 3 players. Two of them being Marcus Trivener, that came in from Middlesbrough as well. He's got to make that step up as well to the Premiership as well. Ryan Fredericks as well from West Ham as well. Yeah, it's not too bad business wise. Just unfortunately for me, I think Bournemouth are going straight back down to the Championship. But best of luck for this season. See if you can prove me wrong. Coming 18th for me, and I did predict them coming 18th last season, but they did prove me wrong. I think Brentford. I think you want to hear me out on this reason why I'm putting them 18th this season. I think a lot of people are picking out teams like Everton, Leeds, maybe Southampton, maybe Nottingham Forest as well to get relegated as well. But I think Brentford. The reason why I say Brentford is because they did great in their first season. It was their first season in the top flight division in the Premier League. Well done to them. They secured being in the Premier League for this season as well. The reason why I do think they'll get relegated this season is because 2 things. One, I think they'll suffer with second syndrome season, and also another thing, they lost their best player that's come to Manchester United as well, in Christian Eriksen. I think Christian Eriksen played a massive part last season of keeping them up as well. Is a great player, as you know, a very versatile player as well. He's a brilliant player, Eriksen, and whenever Eriksen signs for a club, you know you've got a top player there. I just think, though, I think they'll suffer with second syndrome season. They've lost their best player, Christian Eriksen, that's gone off to Manchester United now. But you'll be thinking, Brett, we have made some okay signings. We have strengthened. We have got like 7 new players, but it's great. But at the same time, you've got to think about it at the end of the day. But they have signed the likes of Ben Mee from Burnley and also Aaron Hickney as well. Just going to signed him from Italy as well. Bloody hell. I just think Brentford will suffer with second syndrome season, unfortunately, and you've seen it in the past. Coming 17th and just surviving. Leeds United for me. I think Leeds United, just based on the way how they finished last season, I think they'll know how to survive. You saw it last season and the last game week where they had to go to Brentford and get a draw. Burnley went and lost to Newcastle and they went down. I think Leeds United, I think they will get dragged into another relegation fight as well. I do think that as well, just based on because of last season, but they have lost some big players. They've lost Rafinha to Barcelona and they've lost Calvin Phillips to Man City as well. So they're big players that are not going to be a part of that team next season. They have brought in some okay signings as well, but they're going to be turning to players like Dan James, Patrick Bamford to have a decent season now. Patrick Bamford, he'll be like a new signing now. He was injured for the whole season last year, so he has to come in and really shine this season as well. They need big players like them to step up next season. The likes of Jack Harrison as well, Joe Gerrard as well. These players need to step up next season for Leeds. And if they don't, and if they start relying on individuals, they'll definitely get dragged into a relegation fight. I do believe that. But they have signed Tyler Adams as well, and also Aronson as well. Obviously 2 players, both from the US as well. 2 players that he can rely on as well and trust in as well. They've also signed 3 other players as well. It's okay business, but at the end of the day, I do think they will get dragged into a bit of a relegation fight. That's if they start playing as individuals, and I do see that as the season will progress this season as well. Coming 16th, and I do think they will prove a lot of fans wrong this season, I think Nottingham Forest. The reason why I put them 16th, and I think Nottingham Forest fans should be happy where I put them at the end of the day, because I think I've seen you guys play last season, a few times last season. I think it's fantastic the way how they play. Obviously they have lost Dej Spence. He wasn't really signed on a permanent basis. He was on loan there for 2 seasons. Players come and go. You are going to lose players at the end of the day. It's all about the recruitment. How well can they bring in the players? But I think Forest, I think the future looks good for them. And I do think they'll just survive, because I do think they've got Premier League proven players that can definitely keep them up. Obviously, one of them being Jesse Lingard. I think that's a great signing for you guys. I think obviously with him leaving, going to Forest would be a massive part in that Forest team. And also Dean Henderson as well. I think he's a great goalkeeper. I think with these 2 players, and also they did sign another goalkeeper as well, will definitely keep them up, just in terms of because they've got that Premier League experience, and I think those 2 will definitely play a part this season. They have also signed 7 other players, the likes of Richards as well. Great signings. I do hope you stay up, and I'd love to see Forest stay up. It's their first time in the top flight division in 23 years as well. It's good to see them back up, and the last time they were in the Premier League was 1999, the year I was born as well. Good to see you back. I hope you're 16th. I wish you the best of luck for this season. Coming 15th, I think Everton. Everton really underperformed last season. And I think the reason why I'm going to put them 15th is because I don't see them kicking on, to be honest. They've lost their best player in Charlison. They've not replaced him. But they haven't really gone out and really strengthened the team. I know they have gone and bought 4 players, which is great. Over the last couple of seasons, you have seen the recruitment from Everton by getting players like James Rodriguez, Allen as well. They were good signings over the time as well, which obviously attracted them to go to Everton because of the manager as well. But Everton, they also do throw in a few players from the Premier League as well. And obviously they've signed 2 players from Burnley as well, one being Dwight McNeil, a winger as well, James Savotsky as well. 2 good signings from Burnley. I think it's good business. They have also signed a right back as well. Lampard does want more players to strengthen their team as well, but Everton, I just think 15th because I can't see them kicking on from last season. If they start performing the way how they performed last season, with no heart, no passion, no character, if they do that again, they're going to get dragged into another relegation fight. If they start performing the way how they performed at the back end of last season, by showing that team spirit, by showing that character, by showing that heart, the passion, the pride, they could kick on. But the thing is though, these players, they were lucky to stay up last season. I just don't think they're going to really kick on and really have a great season and really prove a lot of fans wrong. That's why I'm going to stick them 15th, and I just don't think they'll be that standout team next season, unfortunately. But coming 14th, I'm going to say Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have always been that team where they sort of finish mid-table anyway. Crystal Palace, great team. I don't know where they finished last season, mid-table again. The way how they go in and building their team is good. The future looks bright for them. They're trying to sign young, hungry players, willing to get improved as well. They have some good signings in again. They've signed Decore as well, a DM there, and this Ebi Wohi Is that how you say his name? I might be saying that wrong. Another good player there. United were linked with him, but really Palace just stole him, really. At the end of the day, I think Palace will finish mid-table yet again. I think they are heading in the right direction. They've got a young team. They're obviously shifting out a load of Deadwood as well. A few other good players have gone out on loan and players have gone and moved on, but which is good as well. But they are heading in the right direction. I just think they will lack a bit of experience and a bit of grit as well. I think that's why they'll finish 14th yet again. Coming 13th, I'm going to go with Aston Villa. Aston Villa did finish around about mid-table again. I think they will yet again, unfortunately. Just due to, I do think they've got a great squad. I think a lot of players from them really underperformed last season, and obviously they have made some good signings this summer as well. They've only made about 2 or 3 really. Obviously they signed Coutinho in January, which was good, made that permanent as well, but they have also brought in Diego Carlos as well, Kamara as well, who we were linked with as well. They are building their squad and they are trying to get back into fighting in the top half of the table, but I just do think they've got so many good players, they just really can't implement it. They do have a structure. I just do think it will take them time to get used to each other, and when you keep bringing in new faces in, they're having to get used to the Premier League, with Diego Carlos coming in from, I think, Sevilla, and Kamara coming in from France as well. It is going to take them time to gel. I just do think they'll finish mid-table yet again, and I think it's probably going to take them maybe another season really to really fight for it. Prove me wrong if you can, let's see, and I do wish them the best of luck for this season as well. Point 12th, I'm going to go with Southampton. My mate, I know he's going to be watching this video, Tom as well. I do think Southampton will finish 12th, and I do think they'll really have a decent season now, and they need it as well. Last season they really underperformed. They checked out towards the end of the season, and they have brought in some really good players in as well. I think the future looks bright as well. They cannot be relying on, yet again, like I was saying with Leeds United, they cannot be relying on individual brilliance from like James Ward-Prowse. They can't be always relying on those sort of players to get them out of the shit. They have to start playing more as a collective, as a team. They have to stick together, and that's what Southampton needs to do. It's a big step up now, because with Che Adams and Adam Armstrong as well, they've lost Breuer. They have signed a new striker, which is good for them. They've brought in 6 great signings, I think. Lavia, if that's how you say him, and this RBO as well from Rangers. They have signed some good players. If they can try and keep hold of James Ward-Prowse this season, I think that would be crucial in terms of their project and where they're trying to go with it as well. They've got to stick together, and they have to start playing more as a team. Don't drag your individuals to get you out of the shit, because then it's all down to them, and if they're having a bad game, you're going to get dragged into another relegation fight again. But they have to start playing more together as a team, and more of a collective as well, and if they do that and they start doing that, they can have a good season, definitely, for sure. Coming 11th, I've gone with Brighton and Hove Albion. I know a lot of people have put Brighton a bit lower than 11th, because obviously they've lost a few big players now, summer transfer window, using players like Basuma and Cucurella as well. It's all about the recruitment. How have they done it? They've not really gone all out. They have brought in a few youngsters. I do think Brighton might have another decent season. Obviously, they had their best season last year, which is brilliant for them. I just think Brighton this year, this could go 2 ways for Brighton. I think they could have a dreadful season and maybe finish around maybe 16th, 17th, go back to their old ways, or they could really try keep with the team that they've got. They have lost some key players, but they have to stay together, play as a collective, don't play as individuals. And that's why I do think they'll drop a few places for sure, but I think 11th, because Brighton, the last couple of seasons, they've been dreadful, and I think after last season, they showed potential. They do have that potential, so if they can really utilise the players that they've got, keep hold of the likes of Danny Welbeck, some of their big players as well, I think they might be alright this season. I don't think they'll get dragged into a relegation fight, but it's all about the mentality for them as well. But they have brought in this Enciso and Diagra as well. The 2 youngsters, if they do have a bad game, you can't get on the back of them. And plus they are coming in from abroad as well, so it is going to take them time to get used to the Premier League as well. Give them time, you don't want to get on the back of them as well. Coming 10th is Wolves for me. I just think Wolves, they finished 10th last season. The reason why I've gone with Wolves coming 10th is because I've not really gone all out on spending players. Obviously they've got Adama Traore back. I don't know what's going to be behind his future, if he wants to stay at Wolves or if he wants to move on. There was speculation that he could maybe move another club, but we don't know what's going on there with Adama Traore. Adama Traore, you've seen it the last couple of seasons, he's a vital player in their team, in their project of where they want to go as well. If you try to keep hold of him, that'll be great. But with Wolves, I just see glimpses probably of last season. They were pushing on for Europe last season. I just do think if they go into their ways of like last season, underperform, rely on Raul Jimenez as well to get them out of the shit as well. To be honest, Wolves have gone and signed Nathan Collins from Burnley. It's a smart move. They have also signed Wangi Chan as well on a permanent basis as well. I think he's a great player as well. But Wolves, I just think 10th is more suited for them. I think it's just going to take them a little bit more time to really push on really again. It was a couple of seasons ago when they were in the Europa League. I think after their manager coming in last season, he needs a little bit more time. I think maybe he needs another season to get used to the Premier League, and then maybe next year they could really kick on. Give the manager a little bit more time. I think Wolves fans will be hoping to kick on this season, but I don't think this season, unfortunately. Definitely just sit patient. I think Wolves will do all right at the end of the day. Coming ninth, I've gone with Newcastle. Now, this is a team that you want to probably look out for this season. This is a team that are really building. They did sensationally well last season. Where they were last season with Steve Bruce, and then they got rid of the owners, they got new owners in, they brought in some great players in January, the likes of Matt Target, making that as a permanent this summer as well, Bruno Guimaraes, Chris Wood as well, Kieran Trippier, good signings yet again. But again, they've gone out this summer as well to go and sign more players, which is what they need as well. They've gone out and got Nick Pope as well, and Seth Botman as well. There was going to be Dean Henderson going in, but that move had stalled all of a sudden and he went off to Forest. Newcastle, I think they're building something special there. I do think they'll break into the top 10 based on the team really. They're pushing for a move for James Maddison as well. Leicester have turned that down as well. Let's see if they can try and get hold of him. Leicester need to try and keep a hold of their best players this season as well. I do think Newcastle will have a decent season. I don't know if they have been in the top 10 before. They might have done. I think they will get in top 10 this season for sure. One to watch this season for sure. Coming 8th, I've gone with Leicester City. Now, Leicester are the only team this season that have not signed anyone. You'd be thinking, Brett, why the hell have you put Leicester 8th, even though they've not signed anyone? The reason why I've put them 8th is because last season they had a lot of players out injured, and those players came back late in the season last year. And those players now have gone out on a summer, they'll be ready to go this season. If they can keep a hold of their big players, the likes of Tielemans, Maddison and Jamie Vardy, they can have a really good season. They've got no Europe this year, one game a week. They should be hoping to push for Europe this season as well. They haven't signed anyone, and that does sort of worry the Leicester fans. Where are these signings? They have lost Kasper Schmeichel now. They've lost their captain now. He's gone off to Nice. They have to try and go out and get a new goalkeeper. Speculation over David Raya from Brentford and Martin Bovaraka from Newcastle as well. They're two that they could go and get. But Leicester, they will be worried because they've not signed anyone, but I do think they can secure 8th because they were putting the results together at the back end of last season, and if they can do that into this season with one game a week with no Europe, they can have a good season. That's why I think they can come 8th for sure. 7th, I've gone with West Ham. Now, obviously, West Ham had their best season last year. I do think they'll slip a bit this season. West Ham did brilliantly well last year, but they have strengthened. Not dramatically, I don't think. They do need the squad depth as well. They are trying to push for Maxwell Cornet as well from Burnley as well. Will they get that deal over the line? I don't know, but they are trying to get him, as I'm hearing at the minute as well. But they have gone out and got another striker, which is good for them. Skamaka as well. I think it's a great signing. I think he's going to be one to watch. They've been trying to get a striker for some time. They do need a backup to Antonio, the tall, fast striker as well. I do think he'll bang in some goals for them as well. Obviously, they're playing on Thursday nights as well, so they do need the squad depth as well. And they've also signed a centre-back called Aguard as well. I think he's a decent signing. I haven't really much seen of him. He was in Liga last year. I think they paid over about 30 million for him. Big expectations for him, I think. I don't know who he's going to partner, to be honest. Maybe Kurt Zouma. Their businesses, they've done quite well this summer as well. They have also signed another player as well. West Ham, I think they'll do all right this season. I think maybe 7th. I think they will do all right this season. They will be trying to push for Europa League. They need the squad depth for sure, and that's what they lacked in the last 6 months, and because they put their eggs in one basket for Europa League, that's why they couldn't get Europa League, so they need the squad depth. Coming 6th, I've gone with Arsenal, I just do think Arsenal, people will be saying, Brett, why are you putting Arsenal 6th and why are you putting your team above us? I do think because Arsenal, you've seen it last season, you lack experience in their team and they lack grit, and when it comes to those sort of games, big games, you saw it the last 2 games of the season where they got beat by Tottenham and Newcastle, bad vibes from that again. Arsenal again, then I do see them finishing 6th. That'll be then fans trying to get on the back of Mikel Arteta, more pressure on him as well. This is like his 4th season as well. Brett signed great players. Yeah, brilliant. You have. Obviously, they have gone out and signed Jesus. He scores about a goal in 3 games or something like that. But Jesus is a great striker, obviously a great replacement for Lacazette for sure. They've also gone and got Zinchenko, didn't see that one happening as well, from Man City. And they've also signed Fabio Vieira from Porto, I think. Marquinhos, so they've done well. 5 players, they are building again, but I just think 6th because if I see glimpses of last season again, that's why I just think they'll finish 6th. And because they're a young team, they lack grit and they lack experience, and when it comes to those sort of games, that's what they're lacking. They're a young side, they're trying to get better, they're well coached, but if they do finish sort of around 5th, 6th, 7th or 8th again, that's where the fans are going to starting to get frustrated. They've not got top 4 in a couple of good years. They've not had Champions League for years as well, and that's why then the fans are going to really turn on to Arteta as well, for sure. Coming 5th, I've gone with Chelsea. Now the thing is, the reason why I've gone with Chelsea coming 5th this season is because the way how things have gone with Lukaku. Went and got a striker for 100 million last season, splashed all the cash for 100 million to get Lukaku back at Chelsea. Was really poor last season, only scored 7 goals, got drops as well. He's gone out back to Inter Milan because he wants to get his confidence back up. You can go and do that if you want. But the thing is, they haven't signed a striker. They are going into the season with Breuer. Been a lot of uncertainty with his future as well. He was linked with that West Ham move as well. I don't know how this could go for Chelsea this season because they don't have a striker. It seems like they're going to be loaning out Timo Werner as well, back to RB Leipzig as well. If I was Tuchel, I'd be trying to keep him this season as well because he's German, he's a player that can get better under Tuchel as well. If you're going to start loaning out players and you've not got a striker in, I'll be worried as a Chelsea fan. You have brought in some good signings, don't get me wrong, but you've not signed a striker. And if you've not signed a striker, there's worrying signs. That's why I do think they'll come 5th. They could get a striker in the next couple of weeks, but you never know at the end of the day. But they have brought in Sterling from Man City. Great signing in Koulibaly as well. Great signing as well. Just recently, Cucurella has also signed for Chelsea as well. That's why I do think Chelsea will come 5th. If they don't sign a striker, it could be peak for Chelsea at the end of the day. Coming 4th and now in the top 4, who is going to come 4th? For me, Manchester United. I think we're going to come 4th this season. I do think with a new manager in place now in Ten Hag, these players are got to willing to put the effort in. They need to be determined. They've got to run. They've got to show the effort this season. And if they want top 4, they're going to have to earn it this season. They've got to absolutely run their socks off. They need to be hard working. And I've got to see a change in mentality, a change of attitude from these players, a change in body language as well. A lot has got to change at my club this season as well. And we've got to finish 4th this season because, and also we'll be in Champions League for the following season. I do think we come 4th. We have brought in some very good signings though as well. We've also brought in Christian Eriksen. Great signing. A very fantastic player that we've needed for some time. Definitely will give Bruno Fernandes a fight for a place as well. Malacia as well, Tyrell Malacia as well, another fullback. We've just gone and loaned out Alex Telles as well, Martinez as well. Great signing. People criticise him because he's like the shortest centre back. He'll prove a lot of people wrong and a lot of fans wrong. Even though there's only 3 signings, our United fans are really underwhelmed and very down of the signings that we've made. We know what we need to go and get at the end of the day. We do need another striker. We do need a midfielder. My message is to the other Man United fans is we cannot get all the players that we want at the end of the day. This is going to take us a few transfer windows. You can't get all your players in one window. You've got to have to back Ten Hag and give him time this season. It's not going to be something that's going to be done overnight. It is going to take time. The way how he wants to play as well, that's going to take time as well. So we have to back Ten Hag this season as well. I do think we will finish 4th, but a lot has got to improve and a lot has got to change for us in order to get 4th, and that's why I think we will get 4th. Coming 3rd for me is Tottenham. Tottenham, the way they've transformed their team is brilliant. It's been fantastic because I think they've won the transfer window this year as well. The way I've gone and get the players that they've wanted. Conte and Paraschi, they've done really well to go and get those players. A great transformation as well by bringing in players like Perisic, Basuma as well, Richarlison, Dej Spence as well, Longley as well. Brilliant players, the way how we want to build a new team as well. That's why I think Tottenham will get 3rd. There's a lot of rumours that they can really challenge. I don't think so. And when you bring in loads of players, new fresh faces in like that, it takes time. You've seen it with Chelsea 2 seasons back. Everyone thought they were going to go on a title challenge when they brought in about 8 new players in. when you bring in loads of players in one window, it takes time. It takes about a season to get used to each other. I don't expect them to be challenging. A lot of fans are expecting them to challenge, but I don't see them. I do think they will fall into their Spursy ways as well again. I think third and Tottenham have got to get top four yet again. And obviously, whoever doesn't get top four, I'll have to accept it and move on. Coming second for me, Liverpool for me. Liverpool, just based on, obviously they did win the league a few years ago, but that was during COVID. But done all right, Liverpool. Last season they gave us a really good ending towards the end of the season. They were winning their game. City looked like they were about to lose their game, and Liverpool were going to go on and win the league, but that all changed. I do think a new signing, Darwin Núñez, I think is a great signing from Benfica. I think this is a player that you're going to have to give time. I don't think he's going to really hit it off right away. I do think he will struggle this season, and that's why I do think they'll finish second again. You know, they've lost Mane as well, and I think that's why they won't win the league, because Mane's gone. Obviously, Mane gave his reasons behind why he left, because he wanted a new challenge. But at the end of the day, Liverpool, I just do think they'll come second yet again. They've got a great squad, got lots of great quality. Van Dijk, Salah, Diaz, Núñez, a great midfield, Keita. I know they've got all these good players, Fabinho, but I just don't think it'll be enough, unfortunately, to win the league. I don't think they'll win it. And obviously they have signed Fabio Carvalho as well, from Fulham as well. Unfortunately for me, coming first will be Man City yet again. Just think City will boss it. The squad that they've got is fantastic. I was about to say unbeatable. They can be beaten as well, Man City. With the quality and the players that they've got, they should be winning the league, Man City. You look at their squad, the likes of De Bruyne, Jack Grealish, Foden, Gundogan, Mahrez, another few good signings in. The big main attraction for them is Erling Haaland, brilliant signing as well. And obviously they've gone and placed Fernandinho for Calvin Phillips as well. Brilliant signing yet again. They are trying to chase another left back as well. They have also brought in that Julian Alvarez as well. I think he's like the backup to Raheem Sterling as well. With the team that City have got, they should be winning the league. The way how you look at their team and the way how they're going to start their team next season as well. Because you look at their back line as well with Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Ake. You've got a midfield of De Bruyne, Phillips, Gundogan, and then you've got a front three of anyone, to be honest. Haaland, Mahrez, Foden, you chuck in Alvarez as well, anyone really. So they should be winning the league for me. I don't think United can't really challenge two yet. I think that's going to take another couple of seasons yet until we get all of our signings in, and then we can really push on and challenge. This is my realistic, hopefully, where everyone's going to finish. I did predict us to come second last season, and I got that terribly wrong. But whatever happened in the past for us, we have to move on. It's a fresh season for Manchester United. A new manager's in place. We have to give him time. But I do think City will win the league. I think they'll be too good. I don't think it'll be plain sailing. I don't think they'll have a massive gap to the teams behind them. I do think it will be close again. Looking forward to this season. It's going to be a great season ahead. You've got probably the 5 best managers in there this year as well. Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp, Antonio Conte, Eric Ten Hag and Thomas Tuchel, going all for top 4 as well. It's going to be an interesting season. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoyed another video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days, and peace.